Hello everyone. Let's go ahead and get started into our practice today. We'll have a nice well-rounded practice, but a little emphasis on the shoulders and the upper back. So let's get right into that. Starting off just in a comfortable seat, cross-legged seat on the floor. We'll take our arms out to the side and really flex through your palms. So kind of like you're high-fiving the walls out there. And then from there, just pulling the elbows in, so as if your elbows could touch behind you, and then just pushing back out. So a few times, just drop into this movement. Start to feel your arrival, this kind of push and pull. Feel the shoulder blades squeeze together on your back. And then as you take your arms out, go ahead and soften the hands, then make fists. And then from there, you're just gonna roll your arms in and then roll your arms out, right? So another way is if you had your thumbs up, it would be kind of thumbs up, thumbs down, right? Whole arm though, turning in, out from the shoulder joint, the shoulder socket. Knocking the rust off. Okay, so from there, let's soften that. We'll bring the right arm behind us and just kind of let your arm rest at your low back. And then from there, a few times, you're just gonna turn your head to the right and to the left. So think of kind of just leading with the chin. Again, just this little flossing action. Notice what you notice. And then we'll bring this back in. We'll take a side bend here. We'll kind of lean out to the left, let the head drop. So just all this space between the shoulder and your ear. Take a breath there. And then let's rise. We'll come on up and then we'll switch. So just other arm, bring it behind your low back. Let it rest there. And then from there, just a little turn of the head, side to side, leading with your chin. Right, from that action, we'll come back in and then just little side bend, just kind of lean out, let the head drop. And then we'll pull all of that back in. Okay, so from there, let's turn in here to bring the feet to the floor. And then we'll bring our hands behind us. And then from that, you're simply gonna kind of gaze up, lift the chin, your chest, and then do the opposite, which is to kind of bow the head, round the shoulders and the upper back, and then there's your move. So a few times, just rising and falling through the shoulders and the upper back. All right, and then while we're here, let's catch a little bit of movement for the legs. So just feet kind of wide edges of your yoga mat, and then you're just gonna drop the knee towards the center, and then reset the knees and let the other knee do the same thing. So a few times, this kind of slow motion windshield wiper action, really emphasizing letting the knee fall to the middle of your mat. And as you're moving on your mat here today, just no extra cranking, no extra pushing, just moving kindly with your body. All right, from there, let's bring this in, and then we'll come on up here through sitting into the heels. So find this sort of seat here. And then just thinking of moving everything from your head all the way through to your low back. So we're gonna find kind of these body waves. So you're gonna start by just gently drawing your chin towards your chest. Lean a little forward, and then gaze up, lift the head, the chest, and rise. Come back through center. And then do that again. Bow the head. Lean forward, rise up. Okay, so in your mind's eye with your body, just kind of making this wave-like movement. Getting as much of your upper body involved as you can. Remembering chin towards chest. Gaze up, rise. Let's find one more of these. Bow the head, round. Come forward, and then little arch to the spine. Rise up. All right, let's pause here. We'll take our arms up overhead, and just as you reach your arms, feel the shoulders lift. Shoulders come up closer to the ears. Feel all that space through your sides. And then a few times lifting the shoulders and then letting them drop a little, right? So a little subtle movement there. Can you see that? This kind of lift and lower of the shoulders, arms overhead. Find that action. And then as you lift your shoulders, keep them up. Let's gaze up. Can you create a little arch into your spine? And then just a little bit of a rounding to the spine. With arms overhead, moving here. let's release that. We'll come forward, tabletop. Let's come to hands, knees. So now we're bearing some of our own body weight into the hands. And so just kind of register that. Depending on how you spend your day, there might not be a lot of time where you are actually bearing weight into your hands. So just reasonable expectations for that. Let's begin to kind of lean our weight side to side. So really kind of exaggerate this. Can you kind of lean your weight way out towards the pinky fingers? Trusting the arms, trusting your shoulders. Feel the responsiveness of your hands, your arms, your shoulders. And then let's come back in through this. Right, from there, with your hands, glancing at them, just kind of grab the mat with your fingertips, almost like if you were going to kind of grab like a towel or something. So just feel the strength that lives in the hands. Sometimes we forget that our hands are strong. And then just kind of soften that. And then just do it again, right? Grab the mat and then soften. Right, from there, let's find gate pose. So we'll take the right leg out to the side, and then looking at your foot, just turn your leg out. See that the toes point towards the sky, and then just rotate your leg in. So a few times, flossing through the hip joint, rotating your whole leg in and out. Right, from there, let's pause and we'll move the rest of the body, just forward and back. Forward into the hands, back into your heel. Let's rise. We'll come on up here and we'll just stand into our knee. Take a little side bend. Just slide your hand down your leg. Reach way over. All right. Let's come on back through and just square this up. Tabletop. We'll send the left leg out to the side. So just gate pose here. Again, glance at your foot and you're just rotating your leg out and then rotating in. So you'll notice that the toes turn in and out. Your knee turns in and out. But let that originate too, all the way up the hip crease. Right, from there, moving the rest of the body. Little rocking, forward and back. Find the responsiveness there in the hands. And then as you come forward this next time, let's rise. We'll come on up through, standing, and then just little side bend. Reach on over towards your leg. And then right back here, let's square this up through tabletop. Let's find a little move here for our wrists, for our arms. Thinking of creating circles with your elbows. So let's just bend the arms a little bit, kind of kick the elbows out and then straighten them. So can you kind of imagine that you're making this circle with the elbows? Bending and then straightening. As you come back up, can you reverse that? So you'll bend the elbows, take them out wide, and then just pull them in and straighten. Right? A few times, create this circle-like shape. All right, from there, let's tuck the toes under. We'll take a downward facing dog. Send the hips high, and then just kind of shift around. See where your hands and feet want to be. Take a nice deliberate inhale. And then just a nice big deliberate exhale. Clear it all away. From our dog pose, let's rock forward here to plank pose. Take a moment, turn your head to the right, look over your shoulder. And then turn your head left, look over that shoulder. Right, back at the hands. Let's touch down. We'll sit into the heels, and then we'll find something else here for our shoulders and upper back. So let's bring the hands a little bit out here into the front. And then let's reach the right arm up. Big half circle. Peel the chest open, reach back, look behind you. And then just trace that half circle all the way back where you came from. All right, few times here, big circle. Reach, brush the ceiling, the wall, the floor. And then just coming back through. One more time. Again, not rushing, not moving fast. Just thorough. All right, and then we'll switch. So we'll keep this other hand anchored and then just raise the left arm, reach up. Feel the chest peel open and reach back. Okay, all the way back in. Slow enough here that you can just kind of take the weather, notice how the shoulder feels. Reach, reach, reach. And then just right back through. Let's come on back out, tuck the toes, our downward facing dog. As you come into dog pose, if things feel a little tense or tight, you can see about maybe bending the knees. That might make your dog pose feel just a little bit more spacious. All right, from your dog pose, let's go ahead and walk the hands back towards the feet. And so you're in a forward fold there. It's the first one, so again, you might bend the knees. And if the hands, they don't come to the floor easily, then you might try bringing your elbows towards the knees or the thighs. That's a good place to land in a forward fold too. Just notice the breath here, your breathing. And then just a little rocking forward and back, in towards the heels and in towards the toes. From that, let's go ahead and rise. We'll come on up through to standing. And then from there, let's find a yoga strap or some sort of belt, something that you can hold on to, taking the hands really nice and wide. And then from there, you're just going to raise the arms overhead and then just drop that belt behind you towards your waist. And then coming forward again. One of my favorite kind of shoulder moves here, forward and back. Keeping the arms straight and just tugging on that strap a little bit in each of your hands. Let's hang out here just kind of right behind the head. So finding just that widest spot for the arms to be. There's usually a good stretch across the chest. Breathe into that. Right, and then just from here, we'll take a little side bend. So just dropping to each side. Feel side body, yawn open. Come on up and over. Right, a few more times here. Side bending your spine. Feel connected to your center, even as you move. Okay, let's bring this up and then we'll rotate side to side. So we'll turn our spine, rotating, turning, until you feel the body stop and then you're there. And then we'll unwind, take it to the other side. Everything from the hands, the shoulders, your whole torso. Just finding the right amount of this here today. All right, let's come on back up here through this. Set that aside and we'll come to the front of our yoga mat. Come into the front of the space that you're in today and then just glance at your feet. Take a moment there in the feet and then just lift the toes. Spread them, put as much space between your toes as you can and then just place them back down. Right, and then just do that another time, considering the feet. Lift the toes, spread them, and then lowering them back down. So feel the mat beneath your feet. Feel the surface, the floor that you're on. And from that foundation, just drawing up through the legs. Let's bring the hands to the ribs, your ribs, and then as you press in, can you kind of just lift up a little bit, like you're almost guiding your torso up out of the pelvis. And then keeping that, just let the arms hang. And just give the shoulders a nice big roll, right? Shoulders up into the ears, let them draw down. And then just do that another time. Let the shoulders lift. And then just drawing them down. Little nod of the head, yes. That reminder that head sits the very top of your spine. Tallest version of you, take that in. Front, sides, back. And then here we'll find just a couple half vinyasas to kind of get us flowing. Syncing up body and breath. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold it forward. And then lengthen there. Halfway, lift your body. Exhale, fold your body. And on a breath, let's rise. Reach the arms, come all the way up. Mountain pose. We'll bring the hands together. Let's do that much again here. Inhale, reach up. Exhaling, fold forward. Lengthening, halfway lift. And you exhale, fold. And on a breath, rise. Press through the feet like you mean it. Come all the way up. Mountain pose. We'll bring the hands together. All right, from there, a breath. Reach up. Exhale, fold. Let's step back here into plank pose. Plank could also be tabletop, right? And then from that, let's lower to the floor. Come all the way down. Let's find baby cobra pose. So just little lift of the chest. And then lower, come down. And then can you come up onto your fingertips here, right? Real light touch. And then lifting the chest again, cobra pose. Let's lower. No hands, hover the hands right there. And then lifting cobra pose. Feel the feet press into the mat behind you. Let's lower. We'll do all that again. So use the fullness of your hands, find cobra, maybe a little bit bigger version of it this time. As you lower, find just the fingertips, lift up cobra. Lower, No hands, they just hover, they're right there. Rise, back body, feel the back body lift you, strength of your back. And then lower. Right, from here, let's reach the arms back, and then we'll rise. So lift the chest, lift the legs, everything lifting you up, and then just take that wide. Here, arms, legs out into space around you. Just circle through your wrists, your ankles. And then we'll release that. Let's push back here and take a moment in child's pose. So just hips to heels. Grounding the forehead, that space between the eyes, either to your mat or maybe to the hands. And just let all that initial movement land for you here. And then from child's pose, let's rise. We'll come on back up, tucking the toes under. We'll take a downward facing dog. From our dog pose, let's glance at the hands, a little bend in your knees. Either walk or step your feet into the very front of your yoga mat. And then there we'll lift just halfway. Exhale, fold it in. And then on a breath, let's rise. We'll come all the way back up through to standing. All right, let's use a yoga block. Yoga block or a book will do just fine. We'll do some teacup drills here. Placing your hand out wide, you'll just put the block right there in the hand. So you're not using your fingers or anything really. The block is just resting there in your hand, like if you were holding a tray. And then from there, you're just moving the arm in all of the ways that you can move your arm, while you see about keeping that balance of the block, right? So be as creative as you can. Don't worry about dropping the block. If you do, just start again. And just allow as much of your body to get involved in that as you can. Find all the ways to move your arm. Especially maybe some of those ways that we don't get to move our arm in the course of a day. So maybe that means taking the arm back behind you. And if these are a familiar move for you and you want something perhaps to maybe challenge you or something new to explore, then you could try doing this on one leg. At a certain point when the time's right, we're just going to switch. Find the block into your other arm and then just go on that movement exploration on this other side. Really reaching like you're just sending that block, that you're painting the room with that block. Right, let's bring this back on in. All right, from there, you can set your block aside. Let's come back in here and then just find yourself back into both feet. We'll take the feet just a little bit apart, maybe hip distance. Bring your hands to your hips, and then just a half forward fold. So find the spine really long when you do this, and then rise. So just dig the heels, come on back up. A few times, just half forward folding. Right, so a little yoga deadlift. Feel the backs of your legs work for you, even as you lengthen them. Even as you stretch them. As you come to that half forward fold this time, just take the arms down, flex your palms, almost like if you were in a plank pose. And then there a few times, just flex your hands forward and back. Let's rise. We'll come on back up. Let's do that same sort of move, but on one leg. So stand on your right leg. Your left foot is just going to hover a little bit off of the mat. Keep them next to each other and then fold halfway. Come on up and then just stand on your other leg, do the same thing. And maybe it's not a half forward fold this time. Maybe it's more like a quarter of a fold. In this way, we get to load one leg a little bit more. See about keeping the feet relatively next to one another. And we'll rise, let's come up, and then just right back in through to mountain pose, re-arrive, A breath. Let's sweep the arms up. Exhale, chair pose, get low, just to reground. And then do that again. Inhale, reach up. Exhale to chair pose. Right, as you come into chair pose, let's interlace the hands, all but the index fingers, and then shoot the arms forward and just peek down through the arms, reach back through your tail, and then let's rise, come on up. Chair pose, get low, and this time, take the arms back behind you, reach them back, or if it's available, interlace the hands. Gaze up, take a breath. And then release, fold forward. Let's step back here, just downward facing dog, straight away. Feel the connection that your hands and feet have with the mat. And then from that dog pose, let's rock forward. We can touch down into the knees. We'll bring the right foot forward. Let's find a low lunge here. So we'll draw up. A little bit drawing down through your tailbone. In other words, kind of engage your glutes here. And then with that, we'll raise just the left arm. Reach up, and then reach over. Find a little side bend. All right, we'll come on back up. Let's land our hand at the front knee, and then just a little twist. Reach back, look behind you. Let the breath come through. And then just all the way out of that. Here, let's sink forward into our lunge and bring the hands to the mat. Let's move the body. We're gonna rock back towards the back leg and towards the heel. So there's your move, a few times to rock forward and back. Find just the right amount of this. It doesn't have to look exactly like mine. But see what your movement options are. Let's come back through, low lunge, tuck the toes, lift the back knee. And then just take a moment to kind of get there. We'll take a twist to the right side. So just raise the right arm, twisting towards my front knee, gaze up. And then make a fist up top with that. And then just again, rotate whole arm in and out. Kind of like if you were screwing a light bulb in and out. Right, let's come back through the mat. And then there, we'll step back, find your way again here, just a dog pose. Couple breaths, just in between everything. And then from that, let's come forward. We'll find our low lunge, other side. So my left foot's coming forward. And as you draw up, just hands to low back. Just let the hands kind of be some feedback, like, oh, okay, here's my low back, here's my back body. As you draw your tail under, feel that stretch across the front side. Let's raise the right arm, and then just little side bend, reach over. All right, a twist here. So just hand landing at the front knee. We'll reach back, turn the head, reach, reach, reach. And then just all the way out of that, let's come forward, sinking forward into your lunge, and then let's move. We'll rock back. Forward and back. You can use the hands to support you, or maybe you explore this without using the hands. All right, let's rock forward, tuck the toes, rise. A little twist here, raise the left arm. And then up top, look at your hand, make a fist. Rotate in and out through the whole arm. Right, we'll bring it back into the mat. Downward facing dog, let's step back. Nod the head yes, nod the head no. Just releasing some of the burdens of your day. Be here, breathe here, feel here. All right, from our dog pose, let's glance at the hands, little bend in the knees, and just walk or step your feet on in front of the yoga mat. And then there, let's bend the knees and squat down. So we'll keep the hands at the mat. You could also lift the floor to you and use a block or something to put the hands on. But from bending the knees, we'll work the legs towards straight and then just re-bending the legs. So a few times through that. Bending and re-straighten. And maybe the legs don't straighten all the way. Okay, we're keeping the hands anchored to the floor. So just work within the range that's available to you in that. Okay, let's rise. We'll bring this just all the way back up through to standing. Okay, top of the yoga mat. Let's stand on the right leg, and then we'll just lift our left knee. From right there, let's circle through the left ankle. Right, from that, let's step back, find yourself here into a high crescent lunge. And just take a moment to get steady in the legs. Again, feel the mat beneath your feet. And then from there, let's take the arms up overhead. Good. From there, let's catch opposite elbows here, and then just a little bit, just kind of like you're pressing out. Your elbows are trying to escape your hands. Back heel lifts, back thigh lifts. And then from there, let's release the arms, softening a little bit. Find the same sort of move that we did in low lunge. I'm leaning way forward, and now I'm going to lean way back. So I'm bending the front knee, and then I'm bending the back knee. Find your movement options here. Just that dynamic balance. Right, let's come back through here to the mat. We'll step back, downward facing dog. From our dog pose, let's glance at the hands, and then make your way, front of the mat. All right, from there, let's rise. We'll come all the way up through to standing. Let's stand on the left leg, and then lift your right. Here, circle through your ankle. Thorough and complete circle as you can. All right, from that, let's step back. Find your high crescent lunge. Take a moment, get steady. The foundation is in your feet. Let the heel lift, your back thigh lift. And then we'll take the arms up. Here too, just cross the arms. Maybe other arm goes in front. And then as you grab your elbows a little bit, just press out like you're trying to escape your hands. Soften the jaw. And then there, we'll just soften the arms. Have them out to your sides for some balance support. Let's lean in. See about how far forward you can lean. And then see about how far back you can lean. And then from there, letting this be your move. A little bit of surfing through high crescent lunge in the legs. Find that responsiveness. Right. And then from that, we'll bring it all the way back down. Downward facing dog. Let's step back. All right, from our dog pose, let's walk our hands backwards towards the feet. And then there, a little rock forward and back from the toes to the heels. Using your hands for support, or maybe you explore this without the hands. We'll settle back into the feet. Let's rise. We'll bring this all the way back up through to standing. All right. From there, let's walk in. We'll find our way into Warrior Two pose. So just Warrior Two on your right side. All right, nice wide stance. Let's reach out through the arms. Good. And then from right there, let's reach back, Reverse Warrior. Take a breath, and then ride that forward side angle pose. Arm sweeps all the way overhead. Just one nice long line from your hand all the way down to your back foot. And then we'll rise. We'll bring this back up through center. All right, from here, let's bring the hands behind the head. Elbows wide, and then here, just little Reverse Warrior. Elbow pointing towards the sky. Let's rise. We'll come forward. Same thing, side angle pose. Think of lengthening through your spine. Take a peek over that left shoulder. Feel the front foot push the floor away for you. And then we'll rise. Let's come up. We'll straighten this front leg and then just little reverse triangle. Clear that all away. Right, let's come on up and then we'll shift. Just a little pivot here. Find your way, Warrior Two pose on this other side. Right, we'll reach out through the arms. Take a moment, just be here long enough to equalize this. Feel your whole body in this shape. And then from that, we'll reach back, Reverse Warrior. Big side bend. Let's rise. Bring this forward, side angle pose. Just elbow to thigh, arm overhead. Arm is overhead, so let the shoulder lift. Reach through fingers. And then we'll come back up. Okay, hands behind the head. Same thing, reach back, Reverse Warrior. All the way back through center. Little bit moving forward to side angle pose this way. Take a look over right shoulder. Let the breath come through. And then we'll rise, we'll come on up. Okay, let's straighten the front leg, reach back, little reverse triangle, just to clear it away. And then coming right back up. Let's turn the feet in, so we'll face the long side of our yoga mat, reach out through the arms. Same thing we did very beginning of our practice. Elbows draw in like they could touch, and then push out. Okay, a few times. Dropping into that, this push-pull action through the arms. As you take the arms out, let's fold. Nice wide-legged forward fold. Upper body drapes, the shoulders, the head surrender. From our forward fold, let's bend into the right knee. We'll bend into the right knee, walk the hands over in that direction. And then from there, just right hand to low back or right hand to hip. Take a look over that shoulder, little twist. Remember, you could prop the floor to you. Okay. And then let's ease out of that. We'll take this over, bend into your other knee, plant your hand, and then find a little twist, one that works for you. Take a big look over the shoulder. A breath through sides and back of the waist. And then let's unwind that. We'll come back through. Let's slowly rise. Right, coming on back up through center. We'll step to the very front of our yoga mat. Let's move through a vinyasa together. Clear it all away. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Lengthening, halfway lift. Exhale to plank pose, plank or tabletop, remember, however you get to the floor, and then rise to cobra or up dog. And the exhale back, child's pose. Take a moment, let everything catch up to everything else. Let's rise. We'll come on up here. Let's sit back into the heels, and then we'll take our right hand behind us, land onto your fingertips, or again, lift the floor to you and land your hand to a block. But we'll raise the left arm, look up. Lift your heart, like you're lifting your heart up and over something. Okay, stay here a few breaths. Or the option to lift the hips and rise away from your heels. And then just all the way back down. Let's come forward. So I'm going to lay my body forward over my legs and just take a little twist here. Take a look over the shoulder. As you get down low into this, make a little room, lengthen. And then we'll rise. Let's come on up. Same thing, let's reach the left hand behind you. Find your fingertips, the floor, a block. But just raise your other arm, look up. Maybe you rise, maybe the hips lift, if it's a good idea for them to or not. And then we'll sit back in. Let's come forward, folding over the legs, and then a little twist. Look over the left shoulder. And then we'll rise. Let's come on up. From sitting into the heels, let's stand into the knees. And then just a few times, sitting and then rising. Okay? Pushing forward and back. Finding just that hip hinge. Bring your hands there for a little bit of feedback. And then this time, as you rise, let's reach the hands, the arms way forward, out in front. And then just keep your body in this nice long line that you have going, but then just hover back, maybe like you're gonna lean onto a wall, and then rise and come forward. A few times, flow state. Okay, rocking forward and back. See what your movement options are here. You could try this with the toes tucked under. There's no wrong way. Okay, let's come up. And then from that downward facing dog, couple breaths there. From our dog pose, let's glance at the hands. We'll rock forward through to tabletop. And then we'll finish with something here for the hip. So let's take that right leg out to the side again, just like we did. And we'll rock forward and back. Forward and back a couple times. And now this time as you come forward, you're gonna sweep your leg behind you, but then crossing all the way over to the left. Tuck the toes under and push back into that heel and look over that left shoulder. And then from there, let's see about bringing this knee right behind the other. So just kind of crossing the legs, crossing the knees, let it snug behind that knee. And then there a few times, we're just gonna rock forward and back. This next time, pause, linger there a moment. And then as you come forward, see about finding your way up through standing. So we're on the knees again, but now we have the legs crossed. There's a little more balance involved. Maybe similar to eagle pose. See about finding eagle arms. We put one elbow inside the other, let the arms intertwine. Another option would be to simply bear hug to find opposite shoulders here. Feel the legs hug in, feel that engagement, feel that effort. And then let's unravel all of it. Square back up through your tabletop. And then just finding this on the other side. So we'll send the left leg out. And then from there, just rocking forward and back. Feel the hands responsive. And then let's come on up. We'll take this leg, sweep it way back behind you. Keep going. With the toes tucked, push into that heel, look over your shoulder. Catch a breath. And then there, you're just gonna snug that knee right behind the other one. Maybe walk the hands in a little bit, but you're gonna rock forward and back again. That top knee for sure will leave the mat, yeah? As you kind of rock back. Let's stay. Couple breaths, just that passive stretch all to yourself. And then let's rise. We'll come forward. Here, start to find your way towards standing up into the knees. This kind of hug inward through the legs. And then eagle arms. Reach up, look up. All right, we'll unravel all of that, squaring back up through our tabletop. And then from there, let's make our way down, all the way down here into our mat. Dialing things down, let's first just bring the soles of the feet together. Use your hands behind you. Push down and just lift up. Lift your seat. Give yourself all kinds of room. And then drawing up, we'll fold forward. Just a little bow to the feet. Here, just dialing down the intensity. Breath is easy, belly is soft. Let's rise, we'll bring this up. Let's plant the feet out here in front of us. The hands behind us. And then from there, gaze up, lift the chest. You'll find reverse tabletop. Let's rise, push the floor away. If it's comfortable enough, let the head hang, gaze behind you. And then we'll lower, we'll come back down. Do that again, reverse tabletop, either both hands, or I'm gonna give you the option to reach just the right hand behind you, and then rise, push the floor away, lift up. All the way back down. Let's reach around, other hand, or both hands, press the floor away, lift up. And then back into our mat. Okay, from there, little bit of something for the nervous system, okay, as we prepare to come down into the floor, into the mat. First two fingertips, bring those, find your collarbones, bony landmarks of your collarbones. And then from there, just drop down right below your collarbones, right? So in between your collarbones and then that next first rib is just a little valley, right? Like a little dip. Find that area, that soft area, and with your fingertips, that acupressure point, you're just gonna circle. Press in gently and circle. It's just a nice little reset for that feeling of overwhelm whenever it strikes, okay? Little self-care here, little life hack. Press in, be present. Okay, let's release that. We're gonna come all the way now to the mat. Back body, draw the knees in, give yourself a good squeeze. And send arms, legs up into the air. We'll circle through hands, feet. Clear out all the ways that you stood on your hands and feet, all the ways you balanced on them. Okay, we'll plant the feet onto the mat. And then from here, just gentle windshield wiper of the knees. They fall right, left. Right, from here, let's bring this back in. Hands to your hips, bony landmarks of your hips, and then just rocking the pelvis forward and back, kind of tucking your tail under, and then untucking your tail. So feel that your low back flattens to the floor, and then your low back kind of peels off the floor. Just a nice little reset for that region. As you tuck your tail under, this time let's rise. Lift the hips and come up to bridge. We'll take the arms overhead behind us. Press firm into the feet. Let the breath come through. Navel center rising and falling. Exhale, let's lower the body. We'll lower the arms. And then here, a little something for the hips. Your right foot, we're gonna thread it back behind the left and let this knee lay down. And then with your left hand, just reach down, see if you can find that left foot and kind of catch hold of it. And then just kind of explore this shape you've placed yourself. You might think of like pushing down through the right knee, kind of engaging the glutes. And then from there, let's see about lifting this left knee. So just kind of drawing the knee towards you. You might even use your free hand to bring that in. Notice what you notice. And then just sending the leg up. See about where you can take your leg overhead. Can you raise your leg up? Let's lower that foot. And then as you push down into that foot, act like you're gonna lift the hips. Actually, act like you're gonna come up into bridge pose. A little bit you do. A little bit of clearance under you. And then let that go. All right, let's reset the feet. Maybe a little windshield wiper action if you need it. And then resetting the feet here. So my left foot, I'm gonna thread it back and behind my right one. And then I'm gonna reach down and just find that foot. And just settle into that shape. And just be here long enough to let your body, your nervous system register things. Maybe push down through the left knee. Squeeze your glutes. And then softening. So let's pull this right knee in. Maybe use the hand to help guide it towards you. And then just see about raising your leg. Right, let's bend the knee, we'll plant the foot. Make the action like you're gonna rise into bridge pose. A little bit on this side you do. Yeah, the hips lift. And then all the way back down. Let's release, reset your feet, clear that away. All right, we'll come back in. And then let's find recline butterfly. We'll bring the soles of the feet together. And then there, push down into your feet, lift the hips. For sure, like you're doing bridge pose, because you are. Feel the body float up off the mat. Feel the efforting and engagement. And then let that go, lower, back into the mat. We'll seal our practice here with a breath. Take your biggest inhale possible. Pause at the very top of that breath. Linger there. Very slow, controlled exhalation. Let your exhale be just as big. From there, let's slide the legs on down the mat. We'll come into Shavasana, final rest. Find a position that allows you to be comfortable and present. So perhaps that's laying down on your mat, but you could also choose to find just a seated position. A few moments here in deep stillness to just luxuriate in that present body awareness. Take take a scan here and just notice what feels good and comfortable. Notice what feels good and connected. If your schedule allows, you can linger here for as long as you like in Shavasana, in meditation. But for now, we'll start to reawaken, easing back into the day. Find a little bit of movement somewhere in your body that's noticeable to you. Wiggle the toes, circle the jaw. Let's take the arms and reach them overhead behind you. Full body stretch into every cell. If you are laying down, then just rolling gently to your side. Take a moment there. And then connected and ready, let's rise. Come on back up into your seat. Ready for the day. Have the best day ever. Peace.